Lucky Boys Podcast.
That sounds very easy, right? To not fall into like it's like when I hear someone say, "Hey, if you want to get skinnier, just stop eating so much," right? If you want to save money, stop partying so much, stop being so materialistic. How did you get in that type of mindset? That's not easy. You make it sound very simple, and it probably was for you because your ability to do that and your motivation was probably so off the rails to be able to do that in 20 years at 125 average. How?
So a lot of that comes back to my childhood. So when I was growing up, I was poor, right? And my dad had a gambling problem. So my mom had to hold down the household. You know, she had to pay all the bills. I mean, my dad would, when things were good, he would contribute to the income. But when things were bad, it was all my mom.
Right.
So for me, I was used to, all my friends had the Nintendo. I was still rocking an Atari.
Yeah.
I was always behind in terms of having the latest and greatest. Yeah. So I kind of got used to it. To me, it didn't matter, right? Like my friends didn't look down on me, right? I was their friend, right? We go out and play ball. It's about your skills, right? It's not about your sneakers,
right?
So I kind of grew up accustomed to not having the best of everything.
Right. So you didn't fall into that trap way early in life. You had those lessons, those hard lessons,
right?
And said, you know what, I know better, so I'm gonna do better.
So, and the other motivation for me was, when I was very young, I started working. I started washing dishes at my father's restaurant, and I saved my paychecks knowing that, hey, my dad one of these days is going to have a bad streak, and my mom's going to have to take care of everything.
And you're going to have to be the man.
And I need to help her. I don't want my mom having to suffer as much. So I put away my paychecks. And you know what? When I was 17, I remember, when I turned 18, I worked 4 consecutive summers, and I saved those paychecks. I had $4,000 saved. I put that into a mutual fund as an emergency, emergency fund for my mom.
Right.
I still have that money. I still have that mutual fund.
I gotta give you some. Take care of mama, man.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So that was my motivation,
and that's crazy at an early age. I mean, how many of us can really forecast that type of mentality at such a young age, right? To go, we're able to have that outlook and go, you know what, mom might need this one day.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't have to do that as children, that we don't have to be put in a position where our parents are struggling so much. We're thinking one day when when winter hits, when we're going to have to put all these nuts away. I mean, that's not too many kids think like that. They play the victim, and you said fuck you. Man, that's you're a tough boy, man. That's
I'm also impressed the fact that you saved that money and had the foresight to say, like, you're 17 years old, you put it in a mutual fund. I don't think I was even thinking about a savings account at 17.
Man.
I was making money. I was making good money at Old Navy, and I was saving it, but then I was putting it under my my pillow. I didn't think about the concept of saving and a bank with the interest rates. So how did that come into?
How did you have that financial awareness?
I don't really know about that. I think some people have natural talents. For me, math was always very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding financial concepts to me came very natural. I was also a finance major in college,
right?
So that gave me a lot of additional knowledge.
Okay.
But I don't do that for a living.
Right. So you did software sales, right? In consulting.
I did software implementations,
and that required a lot of travel. It was very time consuming.
Yes. It was a lot of long hours, and that's why I quit or I retired, because for me I was putting in 12, 13-hour days, and it drains you.